Good morning, everyone. I'm thrilled to welcome every one of you to the third session of our Moodle workshop, Teaching with Moodle Beginner's Guide to Understanding the LMS. I am delighted to see our IS professors, Ate Roda, thank you, and also our facilitators. Thank you that you have come to explore deeper into the world of Moodle. On behalf of the IS online team, I express my gratitude for your presence at this training session. For those who have missed the last Friday session, let me give you a quick glimpse of what we've covered in our second training session, which is Moodle Gradebook from setup to display and all the functionalities in between. The interactive session was followed by a Q&A segment. And for those who have unable to participate in this training session, we would have the second batch on February 16. Okay, so this is our session 2 last Friday. Moving on for today's program, we will have our welcome and opening prayer by Dr. Godwin Adja. Thank you, sir. And then there will be a presentation about quiz, question types, and layout, and hands-on activity, and then another presentation for Safe Exam Browser, which you can use in your classes. And then a Q&A segment, and announcement and closing prayer by Dr. Hector Martin. Okay. Sir Aldwin Tapisiria is our instructor, and he is our instructional technologies and Moodle administrator. Please don't forget to prepare your questions and clarifications for later in the session. By the way, please be ready with your computer because after the opening prayer of Dr. Godwin Adja, we will start with trivia questions using Moodle. Once again, thank you, everyone, for being here. Let's make this learning journey an exciting and collaborative experience together. May I call Dr. Adja for our opening prayer.
Thank you, Ate Marisha, for welcoming us. Let's pray. Immortal, invisible, the only wise God, the one who has brought us together this morning to teach us how we can do our work better. As we have come, we ask that the Holy Spirit will take absolute charge and that you will guide the facilitators and that you will open our hearts and minds that we might be receptive to the deep lessons of this hour. And in all of this, let your name and your name alone be glorified, and may we be blessed. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Okay, good morning again, everyone. Is everybody ready with your laptop? Let's have a pop quiz before we start. So if you would please go to the Moodle homepage. So go to Moodle and then click on Home. And then scroll down a little bit and then, okay. Yes, so go to Moodle and then sign in. Okay. Yes, and then from here, click on Home. So you will see this home page, and then scroll down. Below the prayer request here, you will find the IAS trivia quiz activity. Okay, so when everybody's ready, you can click attempt quiz, and then we will give you your quiz password. Is everybody there? Okay, for those who are ready, the quiz password is IAS, all caps. So go ahead, we will give a little bit of time, maybe 5 minutes, and then you can go through the quiz. Is everybody there already? Yep, so go to this URL. Or to make it easier, you can go, let's say you go from the IAS website. The password is IAS, all caps. So for those who are not there yet from the IAS website, you can go to Academics. The Academics menu, click IAS Online. And then on the top corner here on the IAS Online webpage, you can see a link to log into Moodle. And then you should be able to log into Moodle. From Moodle dashboard, click on Home. And then scroll down until you find the IAS Trivia Quiz. The password for the quiz is IAS, all caps, capital A, capital I, capital I, capital A, capital S. Okay. Those who can perfect the quiz will have a prize. Okay. So let's see. The quiz has a limit of 20 minutes, but if you can finish it faster, then that would be great. So the first question, for those who are not accessing the quiz yet, the first question, in 1948 and 1952, the Far Eastern Division of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, which covered the Asia-Pacific region, voted to establish the Seventh-day Adventist Theological Seminary Extension School at Philippine Union College, which was located in Baeza, Caloocan, Philippines. This is a true or false question. The next question here is, the years 2007 to 2019 were a time of steady capital development under the leadership of blank, IAS president at that time. So here you have to enter the name of the IAS president during this time. Question number 3, who was the very first IAS online teacher? So you have your choices there. You can select one and then move on to the next question. The IAS mission, to develop leaders through distinctively Seventh-day Adventist graduate education excelling in What are these three elements? Next question here. Order the list of IS presidents from the very first to the most current. Sorry for the mistake there. So you order this, at the top is the first president and at the bottom is the most current president. So to move this in order, just drag the names. So for example, Dr. Ginger, we all know, is the most current president, so we will drag her to the bottom here. So the first one on top should be the earliest president of IS. Next question. The IS Bell Tower, a 12-meter-high iconic structure on the IS campus, was inaugurated in what year? Choices are 2003, 1992, 1999, and 2012. Then, the next item is listen to this song. So we have an audio file there. If you can, click on the play button here and listen to it. And then the question is, what is the title of this very popular song? Okay. And then the last question in our quiz is, label these IS buildings. Drag the name from the list and drop it over the building on the map. So here are the options. So you simply drag the name and drop it to where you think this building is. And then when you're done, click Finish Attempt. The total score is 20 points. So we will see. So after you take the quiz, you will see a summary of your attempt. And then at the bottom, you can return to the attempt or submit all and finish. It's unlimited. Unlimited. It's unlimited. Yeah, this trivia quiz we will open, and hopefully we can add to the question bank, and then we can use it for anyone who wants to try this quiz. Okay.
The answer is full name.
Mm.
Didn't specify that I was supposed to write.
Yeah, so we have to specify.
Yes.
Those who are not done yet, can we see your hands? Okay, we only have a few left. Okay. Yeah, so if you notice, those who are done already, you will see feedback or a summary of your quiz. You will see the grade, the time you took, and then some items here that shows a summary of your attempt. It will also give you the correct answer and the feedback for each. Okay, let's see the results. Okay. So in the quiz summary here, if you look at the screen, you will see there are 15 attempts already. The more attempts there are, it's going to update here. So let's refresh. Let's see how many attempts there were in total. 15. Okay, let's see. So if I click attempts here, it will show the list of participants and hopefully the scores. Okay. So we see here there's an open attempt. And then from this summary view, we can sort this from lowest to highest or from highest to lowest. So let's do highest to lowest here. Okay. So we have Dr. Correa is the top. So congratulations. Next on the list is Dr. Swansea with 12. Dr. Song also with 12. Dr. Nathan with 11. Dr. Aja 11. And Ma'am Rhoda with 9 and so on. Yes, you can have your choice of fruit. Yes, for those who haven't had breakfast yet, go ahead. It's fine.
Actually, I would have been a bit higher because I just looked up it.
Yes, so in this Moodle quiz, it's a bit picky. The correct answer is set. So for those who spelled it differently, we will see later how the quiz was set up so that you will have an idea of what you can do in the future. So here is a summary of the quiz attempts. You will see a list of the students. I think some of you have already seen this view. What questions were marked wrong and which ones were marked correct. Right? Okay, so let's continue with our presentation. You may eat your fruits. Oh, here. That's. Yes, ma'am. Oh, let's refresh. Maybe it changed, right? So who's the top now? Is there a new top? Wow! That's why. So. Okay, so what is the Moodle quiz? So the quiz activity in Moodle is a powerful activity that allows educators to create and administer online quizzes and assessments. So you will find that this is a way that we can use, as you have witnessed a while ago in the trivia quiz, that there are different types of question types you saw. So here are some of the features of the Moodle quiz. There are different question types. The most common question types that we use in our quizzes are true and false questions, multiple choice, short answer, essay, and matching type. But in Moodle, there are different types of questions, as you have seen in our trivia quiz. There are more than just one of these 5 questions. So you may explore those. The questions in Moodle are also, they could be as simple as text only, or you could use audio, you can use images, you can also attach files to your question, and you could also attach videos to your question. So those are things that you can do with the Moodle question types. Another feature of the Moodle quiz is the question bank. So with the question bank, educators can create and organize a pool of questions, making it easier to reuse questions in multiple quizzes. Randomization features allow the system to select questions from the question bank for each student, ensuring different sets of questions. Some information you will see here this is a sample of a question bank. Some of the information seen here are options like the status of the question, the version, comments, usage, and more. This is actually new to the version 4 of Moodle. In the previous version, we didn't have this kind of view. So now you will see that every time you edit a Moodle question in the question bank, it will keep a version of that question. You can also check the history of the question, and you can choose an earlier version if you wish to. By default, Moodle selects the most updated version to use for the quiz. So Moodle, the quiz also has a feature called, this is timing and availability, right? Every Moodle quiz, you can set time limits, the number of attempts, and the availability period of the quiz. So here you can see, you can set when the quiz is open, when it's going to close, how many minutes you want the student to take the quiz, and what happens when the time runs out. So these are some options. Feedback and grading. So with the Moodle quiz, you can provide immediate feedback to your students after completing a quiz. As we have seen a while ago in the trivia quiz, as soon as you click submit, you see a summary, you see which questions are correct, which questions are wrong, and if they are set, you will see feedback. So with this question, it comes with some information with it. Randomize the choices within the questions. You can also set a password for the quiz. So if you have some students that said, I'm sorry, can I retake the quiz because I accidentally clicked on it? You could set a password. Let's ask the questions later, sir. Also, in Moodle, there is a new feature that is called the Safe Exam Browser. We will talk about this later. So this gives the Safe Exam Browser just adds a little bit of restriction during the quiz attempt. Okay, so as we continue, let's see how to add a quiz in Moodle. So if everybody can please go back to the Moodle homepage, and on the dock drawer on the right side of your screen, you will find a link to the Moodle sandbox. For those who haven't enrolled in this course yet, the enrollment key for the teacher is teacher also, the word teacher with a capital T. So some of you have already enrolled in this Moodle 4 Sandbox course. So if you can, please go ahead and access that. So from the Moodle home here, you can go to the right side, scroll down to Moodle Sandbox, Moodle 4 Sandbox, and then just click it to open it. For those that needs to, the enrollment key for this course is teacher with a capital T.
What's the meaning of sandbox?
So the Sandbox course is just a course that you can play with. So this is open to everyone, and you can just test, create features, create activities, create resources. We will reset this from time to time, so it doesn't get filled up. But you can use this like a playground or a sandbox. You can try things out here without using your Moodle course that you use for your class. Yes, so you can use this as for testing, yes, sir. Okay, so this is the Moodle 4 Sandbox. So this is a Moodle course. So you will see here a blank one. So for everyone, please click on edit mode. Yes. So every teacher has this capability in a Moodle course. So you should be able to edit, add a resources and activity, and change the name of the blocks and so on. So to access grades, sorry, we are talking about quiz. So to add a quiz to your course, click on add an activity or resource. You can select whichever section topic you want to create your quiz in. So you can just create from any section here. So you can, when you have selected a section, just click add an activity or resource. And then from the activity chooser, you can select quiz.
I don't have that many, only 2.
You have right. Does everybody see this same menu? Okay. Yeah, so this activity picker, you should be able to see 3 tabs. One for the recommended, then a list of all activities, and then a list of all resources. So you can see it under recommended or under activities. Go ahead and click quiz to create a quiz. Then here you can enter the name of your quiz. Yeah, for example, quiz 1. Then you can add a description. Under timing, you will find the dates and time when you want to open your quiz or you want to make it available for the students. And the next option is to close the quiz, or when you want it to be unavailable to the students. So effective due date or deadline. Okay. So here is an option for you to follow. You can set the quiz to 2 attempts, make the duration 30 minutes, and set the quiz close date or the due date to January 28, 2024 at 11:30 p.m. Okay, is everybody following okay? Okay, so you can set the dates there. You can set the time limit here. So this is 20 minutes. Due date is January 28 at 11:30. So 11:30 p.m. is 23 and 30. So sorry, Moodle runs on a 24-hour clock. So you can just convert the 12-hour clock to 24 hours and get the time. The setting for when time expires, this is an action that Moodle does when the time expires. So the options here are submit automatically. So even while a student is taking the exam, when the time runs out, the quiz is automatically submitted. The other option here is to have a grace period. So even though the student is still taking the exam, when the time runs out, you can set a grace period. So they can still see the quiz, but they cannot answer any more questions. The other option here is attempts must be submitted before time expires, or they are not counted. In this case, if the student does not submit before the time runs out, then it's counted as 0. The next options here are for the grades. You can choose the grade category. This one we discussed in our previous session for grading. You can set the grade to pass. So for example, the grade, the total points for the quiz is 10. You can say passing grade is 8, for example. This one will be seen in your grade book when you view the grade book later. It will be marked as green when the student has passed, and if they didn't pass, it will be marked as red in the grade book. Also here, you can set the attempts allowed, and then the grading method. If you have multiple attempts, then you can tell Moodle to pick to record the highest grade, the average grade of all the attempts, to get the grade of the first attempt or the last attempt. And then under layout, you have the options to show all the questions, all questions in one page, or every question, one question per page, or 2 questions per page, and so on. So this is an option for you. This can also be changed when you are adding questions to your quiz. Okay, then we have question behavior, review options, and then you can also set some security here, Safe Exam Browser. You can enable it. You can set a password. And then you could set overall feedback. For example, thank you for taking this quiz or something like that. So also from here, you can set grade boundaries and feedback for particular boundaries. So for example, on a quiz that is with the total score of 10, when, let's say, our passing grade is 8, we can set the grade boundary to 8 here and then give a feedback to the students who got a score of 8 and above, this certain feedback. Then we could also give feedback to those who have scored lower. So that's an option in our Moodle quiz. So when you're done setting up the Moodle quiz, click Save and Display so that we can go to our quiz. Okay. So we have set up our Moodle quiz. We have set our name, the timing and availability of the quiz, the security features that we want in our quiz, and so on. And now we are in this view to add questions to our quiz. Okay. So before we go there, I want to draw your attention to the menu up here on top. One of the options here is for the question bank. As I have mentioned earlier, the question bank is a place where teachers can collect questions. So this question bank, the question bank in Moodle is very useful because you can have a list of questions, or you can keep a pool of questions there and pull questions from that question bank into particular quizzes. So let's say I'm going to select here. You will see here in the options that there are several categories here, or layers in the Moodle quiz bank. I'm not sure if all of you will see something like this, but since I am administrator, I can set a category for the whole system of Moodle. So this is a site-wide question bank that can be used throughout the whole site. There is also a category level question bank, which means that this question bank can be used within the category. For example, the seminary category. If other courses in the seminary want to take questions from that question bank, that's a possibility. And then we have the course level question bank, which means that questions in that question bank can be used within the course only, but in different quizzes inside that course. Then we have also the question bank for that quiz only. This question bank, if we use it for the quiz only, cannot be accessed from a different quiz. So just take note of that. But most cases, questions will only be created for the particular quiz. Okay. So with the question bank also, in case you have other like co-teachers in the course, they can also access this question bank. So you could assign somebody to actually populate this question bank. You could also use the question bank to, you can tell Moodle to pull random questions from the question bank. So for example here, I will go back to quiz. We will be adding questions directly to the quiz. So go back to quiz. And then click add question. So we will try this morning to add different types of questions. So the question types we will be focusing on are the true or false, multiple choice, short answer, the essay type question, and then the matching type question. So let's go and try to add a question to our quiz. So from this view, click add question. This should bring up this view here, and then under here you will see a link to add. So you see the options here. You can add from a question bank, you could add a random question, and you could add a new question to the quiz. So let me show you quickly adding a random question. So if I want to add a random question, you can see that I can select a category. Let's say I'm going to pick from the IAS Trivia question bank here. And then you could select the number of random questions that you want to pick from this question bank. So let's say I want to do a quiz that has 4 questions that is taken from a question bank of, let's say, multiple questions. You can allow Moodle to select 4 random questions so that students, when they attempt the quiz, all of them will have 4 different questions each. Okay. The other option here is to add a question from the question bank. So same thing. This will open the question bank. Let's say I'm going to go back to the question bank for IAS Trivia. And then I will be able to select which questions from this question bank I want to add to my quiz. So for example, I want to add this one. I will click on Add to Quiz. And then it added this question to my quiz. But today we will focus only on adding directly to the quiz. So let me delete this real quick. Okay. So let's go, click Add, and then add a new question. And then from this selection menu, scroll down and look for the true or false quiz type. You will notice also when you select any item, any quiz type from this menu, there is a description here on the side. So you will see multiple question types here. If you want to know more about them, you can click on them and then read the description of what they do. So go ahead and click on true or false, and then click Add. Is everybody following okay? Yes, doctor. Okay, so from here, okay, sorry. So let's go back to the sandbox. Okay, so this is the Moodle course. Select the quiz that you created. Oh, I understand that now it's very difficult to see who created which. Okay. Okay, if you can, please put your name on as part of the quiz. So to change the name of the quiz, you can go to Settings. And let's say I will add here my name so that I can see that, yeah, this is the quiz that I created. So when you create the quiz, click Save and Display, and then you will come to this view, click Add a Question, and then Add, and then add a new question. Is everybody following okay? Okay. Add a question, and from the menu, select true or false, and then click Add. Okay, so from this view, you will see, you will be able to select a category. So please note that which category that you want your quiz questions to be placed in. So just make sure that you are using the same category for all your questions. Question name, this is only a descriptive name for the question. This is only visible to the professor. So you can actually name it 01 or quiz or question 1 and so on. Question text is the question itself. And in a true or false question type, you can select what the correct answer is. So here is a sample of a quiz question that you can create for true or false. In 1991, IAS moved to the new campus near the town proper of Silang, Cavite, and then set the answer to true. Okay. If you have another question in mind, you can go ahead and use that.
Where do we set the answer?
So for the true or false question, if you scroll down under general feedback, you could see a drop down for correct answer.
Yeah, but what is false, what is true?
So you can set the correct answer for the question. Yeah, so for example, in this sample,
Oh, okay.
okay, I'm going to select, the question is in 19, this one, the correct answer is true.
For example, I said the question, Bongbong Marcos is the president of the Philippines. And then I said it true.
Yeah, that's right. I suddenly realized you have to put, you cannot put, where is Ayas? You cannot put like that.
Well, for a true or false question, yes, sir. So, is everybody done with the true or false? Okay, so if you're done, let's move on to the next question type. So when you're done editing your question, just click Save Changes. And this should, let's say, let me add the question here. I'll just type any mumbo jumbo here for the question, just so that we can move on. So you can save changes, and then you should see that this question has been added to your quiz. So let's go ahead and try a multiple choice question this time. So go ahead and click Add, and then add a new question, and then look for multiple choice. And then click Add. So the options are the same. You can select a category for this quiz. You can name your question, and then you can enter your question text here. So here you will maybe put something like, who is the current president of IS, for example. And then under that, you can set the default mark. You can set if this multiple choice question only allows one answer or allows multiple answers. And then, here in answers, you can put the choices that you want to include. And then under grade, you will see each option here, each choice has a grade option. You can set the correct answer to 100%, and all the wrong answers you can just leave as none. Okay, so that is how Moodle will determine which one is the correct answer. So the correct answer will have a 100% mark, and you could actually set half answers, setting the choices to 50% or lower, or whichever one you want to select here. Okay, so a sample question you might want to try for this question type is this. The bell for the IAS bell tower was secured by Dr. Aina Longway as a gift from, and here are the choices. Loma Linda Nursing Alumni Association. Second choice would be IAS graduation class of 1990. The third choice could be Silang Municipality. And the fourth choice could be the General Conference. Then you set the correct answer. In this case, the Loma Linda Nursing Alumni Association, and set the grade to 100%. And then all the other options you can leave as none.
None or zero?
None. So the grade options here, the grade options here are none, 10%, 11, and so on. So you could also actually set negative scoring if you want. So for example, I'll set this question too.
Okay, so everybody should be able to create a quiz item using multiple choice type. So you can.
Yeah, so this is a sample of a multiple choice question that you can try out the question type with. Sorry for the misspelling here. This is Loma Linda Nursing Alumni Association.
Raise your hand once you are done.
So multiple choice, I have, what, five choices? Can I?
Yes, by default in Moodle there are 5. You can actually only enter 4. That's fine, and then you can add additional options if you want. On the bottom of the quiz here, you could see that you should be able to enter 3 more choices. So it's not a problem for Moodle if you don't use all the boxes there. So yeah, actually you could do more than 8. Yes, so you could just keep adding choices if you wish. Okay. So is everybody okay with the multiple choice question?
How do we view?
Okay, that's a So once you're done adding your question, if you want to preview the question, you could click on this magnifying glass on the right side of the quiz, of the question, sorry. So clicking this will allow you to see what the question looks like. This is the preview. This is what the preview looks like. You could also tell this preview to fill in the correct responses. So in this case, it will give me the correct answer.
Here option, it says correct. There's no option for none, 100%. There's like like a button, and then correct. Did you enroll as a teacher?
I think ma'am, maybe you selected a different type of multiple choice. Yes, sir. So correct answer is 100% of all the choices. The other choices you can just leave as none. Yeah. So in this case, what Moodle will do is look at which one, the score of each choice. So if the student selected a choice that is worth 100% of the mark of the question, then Moodle will give 100%. If it is set to none, then Moodle will not give any points for that particular answer. Yes, Dr. Gabashan, you had a question? Oh. Okay. So here, if you see here, under answers, choice 1 would be your first choice. This doesn't have to be in order of how you created it. But this is where you'll put the choice number 1 or choice A or whichever one. Set the grade. And then you could also set feedback. So for example, if the student selected this choice for an answer, this is the feedback that I will give. And so on. So you could personalize or you could target feedback for whatever answer they give. And then at the bottom, at the top rather, you can have a general feedback. So when the student answers this question, the general feedback will be something. So let's say for this question, you could actually put uh, this whole what do you call this, trivia fact for them. So you could tell them that the bell of the IAS bell tower in the feedback was secured by Dr. Aina Longway as a gift from the Loma Linda Nursing Alumni Association, for example. So that they know, they can see if they were wrong in their answer, they could see that this is the fact and this is the correct answer. Okay. So again here.
Why when it says preview quiz, it goes to the quiz and rather than to the setting, and then it gives the time for it, the time limit for
Mhm.
the preview.
So when you preview a quiz, yes, it will run the quiz as how the student
I
will
cannot
see it.
preview it in setting
The settings is where you set
questions at all. But you
the settings or the, yes sir, the questions. You can go to questions. You could preview each question by clicking on this magnifying glass.
where magnifying glass. Okay. Can I edit in the magnifying glass? Cannot. I have to go back to settings.
Yes. So from preview here, you can just close preview, and then you could edit the question by clicking on the gear icon
Which icon?
here
Oh, okay.
on the left side of the question name.
Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, good.
Okay. Yes, sir. So at the end of the quiz, every question type that this can be set, the automatic grading, they will automatically be graded. Yes. Yes, it saves the teacher a lot of time from grading. Yes. So if you would notice here in the menu up here, you have the quiz. This will bring you to the quiz. The settings will bring you to the settings option. That is not the questions. Those are only the settings. So the time of the name of the quiz, the time when it's available, the the time limit, and so on. The option for questions will bring you to this window where you add questions to your quiz, and then the question bank is the question bank. So um, just know that these are different. These are different pages for the quiz. So is everybody okay already with the multiple choice? Everybody still some not following okay? Yes, it's important to save the question. Okay? So we can move on.
Is everybody okay, or we're getting lost?
Okay, let's try something here. Let's create a short answer question type, an essay question type, or a matching question type. So you can go to this URL here on the screen, shorturl.at slash and this code. This will bring you to the article in the Adventist Encyclopedia about IAS, and that is where we got all the trivia facts we did for our IAS trivia question quiz. So go ahead and go to this URL, and then you can try to use any facts from there and create a question in your quiz from this type. Maybe we can give, how many minutes can we give? 10 minutes. And then if any of you have a question during the 10 minutes, then we can answer your question. About creating a short answer, an essay type, and a matching type question.
It's a HD.
Oh, sorry, you'll have to type this manually. Oh, let me put this in the sandbox course so that you can easily click on it. Okay.
Who among you have created a true or false item and multiple choice item? So this time, essay question is very useful for comprehensive exams. So this is very good for our secondary.
Maybe there's no time, but later on. I want to. I have used essay question type, but I wanted to add a rubric so that the student will know why I created this essay, this or that. But maybe that's not part of the.
Wait, ah, later na lang po. Basic lang muna yung ano po. Yung, basta yung mag-test na siya. Hawakan mo.
Okay, I will put this link at the very top so that it will be easy to find. Okay, so now if you go to the homepage of the sandbox, you will see a link for IAS history. This should open a web page in the Adventist Encyclopedia. This one with the history of IAS all written here. So you can select any facts that you want from here, and then add a question to your quiz.
Make sure that you have a long answer. Long answer. The long answer should be none.
Okay, so again, to add a new question to your quiz, make sure that you are in questions up here, and then add a new question, and then select your choice, your chosen question type from the list. let's say I want to create an essay question. I select essay and then click add. So the question name, I can set as just essay. Question text could be, what do you think, let's say, for example, we can have an open-ended question such as this, right? Set the default mark. And then that is about it for the essay question type. Because the essay question type is an open-ended question type, this type of question will need to be manually corrected by the teacher. So this is not one of the questions that are automatically graded by Moodle. This one, the teacher has to go in and grade manually. So the options here for the essay type of question is just the size of the input box, the text box that you want to give to the student. Also here you could actually, this is an option for essay type, you could select plain text. If you notice, this is an HTML editor, meaning that the student can design within their answer. But if you don't need them to put images or put links or such thing, you could actually set this to plain text and then they will just type their answer there. Or you could say this essay question has no online text, so they don't enter the text here. So for example, I set this to no online text. What are my options for this question type? I could actually allow attachments on this essay question. So for example, this is something that we do for some exams that will take 3 hours or longer. The problem with web pages, especially those that you log into, is that they, what we call timeout. So when the computer detects that there is no movement or no activity on the screen, usually websites that need a login will log the user out to prevent other people from accessing that. So that is also the same with Moodle. So for questions that take longer, like 3 hours long quizzes, for example, or tests, when the student is taking so much time thinking of their answer or typing it, the Moodle might time out. So one option to do here is to give the exam to them on a Word document, allow for attachment, and then when they are done, they can go back to the Moodle quiz, upload their assignment to this essay question, and then submit it. So that is an option. Or if it's only a short essay question, you could, like 10 minutes, maybe it only needs them 10 minutes to type their answer, then this is fine. You can allow them to type their answer here, maybe give them a text box of maybe 5 lines long, and then you could actually set also the minimum word limit, maximum word limit for this essay question. If you allow attachments, you can do that. And then when you're done, you can click Save Changes. Again, if you want to look at what your question looks like, you can go to the right side of the question and then click on this magnifying glass with the plus on it, and then it should show you what this question looks like to the students. So this is an HTML editor with this size, right, as we set in Moodle. So for a short answer, for example, I can scroll, look for a short answer. I'm going to give a question name. Let's say question 5, for example. And then set the text. So, short answer, um, this is a question type where the student needs to type in an answer. And then, this one actually Moodle can automatically grade this. So, for example, this question, who is the current IAS president? Okay, so this is my short answer question, for example. And then for the answers underneath, you could see that I could set different answers. So this one, you could actually set what the possible answers might be for this question. So you could say this is. So for example, you want to, like the first possible answer is Dr. Ginger. You can set this answer to 100%. Okay, yeah, we could actually set this to 90% because let's say we want the 100% to be her full name, right? So let's say Dr. Sorry. Okay, so we can set this to 100%. So note that Moodle will look at these answers that you have entered in this question and then match what the student typed and then select which one it matches. So if the student only typed Dr. Ginger, then it will just give 90%. If the student typed Dr. Ginger Kettingweller in this format, then it will give the student 100%. Note that if the student here forgot the dash, then Moodle will mark it wrong. So that is the limitation for this question type.
That means you have to write all the possible options.
Yes.
For example, if doctor is small d, it will be 0, right?
Okay, so there is an option here where you could set case sensitivity. So if you want the student to put proper caps on the letters, then you could say yes, match the case. So if the student doesn't capitalize the first name, then it will be marked as wrong.
What about the full stop?
Yes, if the student also, if the answer is not set that way, no option was put here, then it will be marked as wrong, yes.
Wow, this is like so many possible.
Yes. So for this kind of question type, we just need to make sure that the exact answer is what the question is looking for. Yeah. So if there is possible ways the student will answer it, then you might need to enter all the possibilities here.
This is like how many of them? Or we can be just strict and say you just give the full answer 100 and the rest will be 0.
Yeah, or you could say give the full name, and if you don't give the full name, then it's just 0. Yes, that's a possibility.
So come and see you and
Yes. Or another option here is this item can be manually corrected as well. So if, let's say, the student maybe missed the ketting, for example, Dr. Ginger Weller is probably a correct answer, so you could manually correct it afterwards.
manually it's not done here, right?
No, not in this setting. So we will need, let's see. Is everybody done trying to create quiz questions? That's okay. Okay. So let me show you here. So so how do you, let's see here. I'm going to go back to the IAS trivia here and look at the attempts. So let's look for Dr. Nathan here. There is a wrong, let's see, let's review attempt for Dr. Nathan's attempt. And then we can see here that number 2 was marked as wrong. So I click there, and it shows me that this is what Dr. Nathan answered. So let's say this is a correct answer, and you want to change this to correct. From this view, you can say make comment or override mark. Then I will set this answer to 1, and then save. Okay, so if we refresh this view, now it should show that this question 2 is marked 1 out of 1. So we have just corrected it. So now it's a green checked also here on the side. Sorry. So is everybody done? Okay, so maybe now we can take some questions. If you have any questions about the quiz, about creating quiz questions, please ask them. And I will try to answer.
In the preview, the question was in the opening question.
Yes, sir, in the preview.
It shows the question, but it doesn't show me my options of the answer.
For the essay type, sir? Essay type. Yes, sir. But since the essay type question,
For the short answer,
for the short answer,
it didn't show me the preview of the answers.
yes. So if you click on, let's see here. So here in the, okay, let's go to questions. So let's say I want to preview this question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Show me the options of my answers.
Yes. But if we click fill in correct responses here, this should give me what the 100% or the first 100% option is. So there. Okay.
Hello. Yeah. We will be distributing handouts. These handouts will give you the do's and the don'ts of you creating quizzes for multiple choices, true or false, essay, and then short answer questions. Yeah, Lucy, could you please distribute? Because it's very important when we formulate true or false question, we don't use the WH questions, right? So it should be a statement. So we'll be distributing these ones to you, and hopefully this will be very helpful as you formulate your quiz items in Moodle or in your face-to-face classes.
Are there any questions about the Moodle quiz?
How do you put images, for example, the one that you showed a while ago, images and other videos and audios?
Okay, so that is a good question. So as we mentioned a while ago, The Moodle quiz can be multimedia. So for example, let's go to, let's see, so that you could see how I did these questions. So, for example, this true or false question, I will click on edit. Okay, so you will see here that the question text here, this is question text, right? There is an HTML editor. So that means in anything that you see in Moodle that has this kind of editor, you are able to add multimedia. You could add images by clicking on this image icon. Then you could set a URL, or you could browse a repository, maybe from your computer or from Google Drive or whichever one you have there. So you can select. So once you have selected your image, then you can click insert and then save image. Okay. So this is the image that I chose to add here. So for example, if you wanted to add a YouTube video, you could also include the link here. Moodle will automatically embed it, and then the student can watch a video. You could ask a question about the video and such. So same thing with, oh yes, Dr. Correa.
Can we use Unicode fonts, for example, for biblical languages, Hebrew and those kind of fonts?
Yes, yes, sir.
I'm not sure if you use
Yes.
this for the online Hebrew grammar classes.
Yes. So, thank you, Doctor. If I may, let me show you a quiz. A quiz from one of the online courses for Hebrew. Sorry. Yes, actually, we have some courses in Moodle that were taught in China, and they were translated and they're written in Chinese. So that's one option. So let's look at the online course here. Let's say this one. So in Hebrew grammar, there is a type of activity called like a parsing test, right, or something. So let's see here. Okay, so here is the quiz in Hebrew. So this is what it looks like. So this is possible. It can be done also in whatever languages. As long as the computer can type it, it should be able to display here. Answers can also be written in the same language, and then it can be corrected as same. Thank you, sir.
Can you show how you created the map and the tagging of the map?
Okay,
Yeah.
so the map.
Thank you.
Okay, so the question type I used for the for the map. Let me go to the questions here. Yes, so this question type is very helpful. For example, for science classes, or like anatomy, where you have to label the body parts or parts of the cell and so on. So let's see here. So the question type I used here is called the drag and drop markers. So what happens here is I upload a background image. So in this case, this map. And you will see here in this preview that there are zones here. These zones are set here in markers. Let's say I set the markers here. These are the markers. And then in the drop zones, you could set what the drop zones are. So these ones you don't have to know the coordinates of this. This is only here to show. But in the preview image here, you could actually click on this drop zone and then change the sizes. So for example, so anywhere you drop the answer in this section, that will be marked as correct. So that's the question type. It's called drag and drop markers. Yes, this one. Also, you may have noticed that there was a question type where you ordered the precedents from earliest to latest. That question type is called ordering. So this could be used, for example, for language courses, maybe in English courses where you have to order sentences in a paragraph. For example, like which ones come first and so on. So that can be used for things like that. Let me show you. This question type. Yes.
The question type ordering.
Ordering. Yes. So in this question type, you could actually set the grading type to absolute position. So Moodle will check if the position of the item is in the correct order or not. You can also go relative to correct position, relative to next item, and so on. So those are the options, and then you select, and then you put here in order the correct answers, or the answers, sorry, the items.
So 1 and 2 and 3 is correct order.
Yes, so you will list it down here in the correct order, and then Moodle will just shuffle it. Yeah, so this is how it looks like.
Okay, and then the question?
Yeah, so the question is entered in the question text up here.
Yeah, Moodle will.
Yeah, so here, this is the question that I put.
Correct.
Yeah, and then,
How did the ordering in the question comes up?
so in the question, when the student attempts the quiz, Moodle will just automatically randomize it, yes. So all we have to do is set in Moodle the correct order of things, of items.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please. Could you please go back to questions?
Questions. Okay. Yes.
At this side where you have always latest, there is another. There is
Here.
another. Yeah, there is another. Yeah, the V1. What's the function of the V1?
Okay. So if you noticed here in the question bank, let me go here to the question bank. Yes, so every time you edit a question, Moodle creates a version of it. So let me show you what the question bank for this quiz looks like. So here you will see that this question, let's say I want to order it by question name. It shows me the version here, like how many versions there are, the one that Moodle is using. So you see, I have a question with version 2, a question with version 4. This is because I have edited, for example, this IS map question. I have edited it about 4 times. So all the changes that I made, Moodle made a copy of it. If you want to see the history, actually, you could go to here, edit, and then I go down here to history. And then it shows me the history of the questions for this item. So if you wish to choose this...
The question, but what was the changes made?
Yes, so every changes that is made, if every save, it creates a version. So in this case... Yeah, so let's say I select this...
You have to open that, right?
yes, so I will preview this. This is how it looked like the first time.
Okay.
So in my first, the first time I edited this question, I put the zones exactly as the shape of the building. So it's very difficult. You have to drop the item, the words exactly where it should be. So in the last version, like in version 4, I made the drop zones a bit bigger so that it's in the general area. Okay. Yeah, so here, if the question bank is shared to your colleagues, they could actually see things, items here. They could mark it for needs checking, or they could put comments on this question. Here, you can see data here, like how many times it was used. So in this case, my version 1, version 2, version 3 were not used at all in a quiz. But the version 4 was used. Okay. So it also analyzes if this one will need to be manually corrected. So if I go back, here, see. Yep. Yeah, it will show me discriminative efficiency, the usage, the last time this question was used, and so on. So this could be very helpful for you.
Is the question bank already there, or do we have to create a question bank now?
So every time you create a quiz activity, you can access the question bank for that particular quiz, or you can create another question bank.
New now.
Mhm.
Is that question bank already there, or
You will have to create it for, yes. So you have a course, you can create a question bank for that particular course, or you could,
can I import?
yes, doctor. So you can import questions. So for example, if there are lists of questions that are available, if it is compatible with Moodle, then you can, let's say, in the business department, they use textbooks from a certain publisher that provide quiz questions, for example. So those quiz questions we could import to Moodle, and it will create a question bank that the teachers can use to pull questions from, yes. If there are no more questions, okay. So I want to present to you this new feature that we have in our Moodle here on IAS. It's called the Safe Exam Browser. So the Safe Exam Browser is a web browser. This one was actually developed, or a couple of universities from Europe and Australia came together and developed the Safe Exam Browser. They are also collaborating so that they can keep this free software going. So the Safe Exam Browser is a web browser environment that you can use to carry out e-assessments safely. So what does that mean? So the software turns any computer temporarily into a secure workstation or a kiosk, for example. So it controls access to resources like system functions, other websites and applications, and prevents unauthorized resources being used during an exam. So the Safe Exam Browser, this one actually needs to be installed in the student's computer, but we can set Moodle quizzes to look for the Safe Exam Browser to run the exam at the quiz. Okay. So what happens when the Safe Exam Browser is used is that it kind of takes over the computer. The student will not be able to exit from the the Safe Exam Browser. So it kind of locks them and keeps their focus on the quiz. They cannot screenshot, they cannot copy and paste, they cannot go to other websites, they cannot even exit without using a password, or the teacher giving them permission to exit the browser. So the only time it exits is when they are finished with the quiz. So I want to show you this quickly. So I will use this quiz as an example. Okay. So this is the IAS trivia quiz again. So in the settings, when you created your quizzes, you may have noticed that there is an option here for a safe exam browser. So what you can do here, oh, okay. Maybe I need to create a new. Yeah, I'm going to use a different course then. Okay. So for example, I have an examination that I want to use Safe Exam Browser in. So I click on Settings and then go down to Safe Exam Browser. And then I select Yes. So there are several options here. You can choose to upload your own configuration file, or you can just configure it manually here in Moodle. So we will set the option to configure manually. Then here you will be able to have these options. So show Safe Exam Browser download button, we set that to yes. So in case the student does not have this installed in their computer yet, they can click on this link so that they can install it in their computer. Ask user to confirm quitting. So when they want to quit Safe Exam Browser, they will be presented with a confirmation. And then you can set to enable quitting Safe Exam Browser or no. You can set it to yes, and then you could set a quit password. So this password you don't have to give to the student. You can keep it, and then when the student wants to not continue the quiz anymore, for example, and they understand that if they exit the exam that they cannot continue, then you can give them the password. So for example, I set this password to let me out, right? So when they type it in, they're going to exit the quiz, and then they cannot continue anymore. Then you could enable reloading the exam. You could show a taskbar if you wish, show a reload button, show the time, show keyboard layout, show Wi-Fi control, and so on. So these ones you could set in Moodle. So when this is set, you could click Save and Display. And in this case, I already have Safe Exam Browser installed in this computer. So if you notice here, this is still a fully functioning computer. I could go to Windows, right? I could open here. I could open files, for example. But let's say I'm a student. I will switch my role here. So this is what a student will see when they're going to take a quiz that is set to use the Safe Exam Browser. So they have a link here to download Safe Exam Browser. They can launch Safe Exam Browser, or they can download the configuration. So let's say I want to start the exam. So we can click Launch Safe Exam Browser. I will say Open. So it opens the Safe Exam Browser that is installed on my computer, and then it takes over the computer. And then when that's done, it's going to open Moodle like this. So the student will have to log in again. So, so when the student logs in, oh, sorry. So it detected, if you notice here, the error message says, the active display configuration is not permitted. One internal or external displays are allowed. But one internal and external display were detected. Please consult the log file. So in this case, because I'm connected to the projector, it prevented me from launching it. So if you want, you can, but you will have to install. You will have to install it. So in this case, If you can, will you be able to see the laptop here? Yeah, so this is very safe. So let's say you have a student, maybe remotely, you don't know that they have another monitor on the side. Safe Exam Browser will prevent them from using another monitor, right? So let me unplug the HDMI monitor here.
So let me say, if that happens, then you know the student is using two monitors.
Yes, sir. Yeah, definitely. We also learned when we were testing that Safe Exam Browser will not run when it detects that it is being run inside what we call a virtual machine environment. So there are some really smart students that know how to create a different environment within their computer and then run something there. So when it detects that that's happened, then it will not run at all. So it can detect those things. So it's very good at detecting stuff like that. So okay, so I unplugged the monitor. So I will launch Safe Exam Browser again. Is it okay? Can you see this? Okay. Let me type the username and password again.
So they can also use that in the classroom.
So some students might use VPN. Will this be able to detect?
VPNs.
It will show another. I'm using it from another.
But I think that is okay. It will not allow you though to
let's say
visit other sites.
I put VPN here and put Australia in my VPN now. So I'm not actually from the Philippines. Will they be able to do that? Can you cheat from Australia?
Okay, so this is the environment of the Safe Exam Browser. So you will notice that because I enabled some features here, the student can minimize this, but they will not be able to see anything. Okay, so if they try to exit, for example, I allowed them to exit, but when they click this power button here on the corner, it will ask for an exit password because I set the exit password. Okay. So from here, the student can't even use spell check or things like dictionaries or Grammarly. They will not be able to use it here. No chat GPT. So they cannot visit other websites. They cannot. So all they can use will be notes that they have written down, or if you allowed a different device during their exam, then that is possible. So,
Unless they put everything into a Word document, cheat sheet.
but they have to use a different device because they will not be able to open the Word document from.
From Word document here, they will not.
They will not be able to. Yes.
Yeah, correct. Well, you will have smart students.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is Safe Exam Browser. You cannot screenshot, so you cannot share the answer anyway. So it's locked. Actually, if you notice a while ago, there was a red screen. That is when I tried to let's say I wanted to try something here. I press Alt Control Delete so that I can go to Task Manager and hopefully be able to exit it. But when I did that, it intercepted the command and then just let it go away. So it's taken over the computer actually, right? Yes, sir. Yes, doctor.
How am I sure that it has not taken over my files?
Oh, so this is only a testing environment for quizzes. So it's actually a web browser. So what they did with it is it just prevented the combination of certain keys. So it detects if you're trying to open a different application or go to a different website. So what actually it does is it opens a different web browser, but that's it. Only that. Yes, sir. So the people who developed this were actually universities and computer science companies in Europe and Australia. So they were very, what do you call this? They wanted to do this for classes. So now it is included in Moodle and we are able to use it. So this can be used in, for example, if you want to do a comprehensive exam, let's say in the computer lab, and there's only one person looking out for everything. Oh, here. So I plugged in another monitor, in this case that, and then it locked me out of the Safe Exam browser. So now I was taking a quiz, I tried to cheat, and then it locked me out. Right? So this is very helpful for, yeah. So my password here is let me out. There, so I was able to get out. Yeah. So that password you don't have to give to the student. You could also set your own password for quitting.
I have a question on accidentally logged out. Accidentally logged out. Sometimes the students will use that as an excuse, but maybe it's something else. Can Moodle prevent accidentally log out? Because it will give you it should be like 2 steps. Are you willing to log out? Are you finish your exam? This, and then only finally you log out.
Okay, so this happens surprisingly. This is not very rare. So a lot of students use this as an excuse, and we experience this in online classes.
Correct.
So what we need to tell the students is that when they are ready to take the exam, and they know that it is an online exam, they need to make sure that their computer has enough battery. They need to know that they have good internet connection. This is the responsibility of the students. So if they know that they're taking a quiz online, they need to make sure that everything is going well. But there are cases, of course, that there are things that happen that are out of control. Like let's say they're taking the quiz and power dies. This one we can actually verify within Moodle because Moodle keeps a record of what happens. So let's say we saw that the student in Moodle opened the quiz and was answering some questions and then it suddenly cuts off. Then we could kind of determine that maybe something happened in between. So yeah, there are things to know. We can look at Moodle and check the logs and see what actually happened.
Is there a way for the students not to blame Moodle for being logged out? That means, can you have are you sure you want to log out? Is it done? Have you finished? And then 2-3 steps before finally you can log out.
Yes. So in Moodle, so for example, I'm going to attempt this quiz here, and then I say finish attempt. Moodle has that. There's the finish attempt, and then there's another button to submit all and finish. And then when I click submit on all and finish, there's another statement here that asks me if I really want to submit all and finish. So there are 3 buttons to press for the student to confirm that they're done with the exam. Yes, Dr. Gabashani.
So for remote students that are writing the examination with the, is it SCB, do they still have to go to the examination center for invigilation?
Do we still? The option is given to them, especially if the internet connection in their place is not that good. Then we could recommend them to go, let's say, to a conference office or a school where the internet is much better. We could assign a proctor probably. So that's the benefit of being in an Adventist community. We can ask help from our sister institutions to help out if we need.
My concern is if they're writing it at home, they may have a second laptop.
Mm-hmm.
And they can use ChatGPT and get the answers. How do you control that if there's no proctor?
Yes, sir. So what we do with this kind of examinations is we make sure that there is a remote proctor. So in our case, Marichelle does the proctoring. So the steps we take is that we open a video conference, for example, Zoom or Google Meet, and then we require the student to keep the camera turned on. In other cases, before they start the exam, we will ask them to tour us around the room with the camera to see what is in their immediate environment. And if we need to tell them to remove computer or remove textbooks or something like that, then we will do that. And then we will require them also to keep the camera turned on during the whole duration of the exam and not to mute the mic, so we can hear what's going on as well as we can see them. So there are mannerisms that we can find in students if they're like looking at something to try to copy something. We can see from the video. And another level of security we have is we record the session in let's say Google Meet or in Zoom. So if ever there are some things that we find later on that we find questionable, then we could review the video and see if something actually happened or if the student actually was copying from somewhere and things like that. So yes, sir.
Thank you.
Maybe this is the last question, Al. So, for example, I have because if you use Save Exam Browser, make sure that all your items are already created in Moodle, right? So, for example, you have a comprehensive exam, and it's in the document. So, make sure that the document is printed, and they do the exam in an essay format.
Yes.
Because you cannot open Microsoft Word, for example.
Yes, everything has to be in Moodle.
Yeah.
There are configurations that will allow Safe Exam Browser to allow, let's say, Microsoft Word or another application to be opened. Those features we haven't fully tested, but if it's needed, then we will maybe create a tutorial for that or inform the faculty.
Thank you very much. This is very useful for on-campus courses. But what we have been doing for final exams, we usually put them in Microsoft Word. All right? So thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause to Sir Alvin Tapisioya. I believe that everyone has been blessed from the first session that we had 2 weeks ago. And thank you very much for staying by until the end. Thank you very much, Sir Aldwin. Next week, it's holiday. We don't have a session here. And I think a week after next, February 9, we are going to have another session, which is a special batch for the seminary, those who missed the grade book. So we are inviting not just the seminary, even those who were not able to join, like Dr. Kalbayan. You can join February 16, is it 16? Yeah, the last part. Yeah, February 16, that's Friday, same time, same venue. We are encouraging you to please join. Gradebook is an essential aspect of Moodle, and we want everybody to know how to create a gradebook in their Moodle course. So please join and learn another topic on about Moodle. So this was actually discussed last week, but we had only a few professors who came because of the event. So we are inviting you to join and be here on February 16. So thank you very much, everyone, and let's have a closing prayer by Dr. Martin. If you still have questions, please visit our office. We'll be there until 12, and we'll be happy to assist you. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's have a word of prayer.
Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the opportunity to meet together and to receive this valuable instruction in order to continue helping our students in a better performance and also in a very fair way for them to grow. Thank you for the effort that the online department has put in everything that we have received this morning, and we ask for your blessing upon each one of them. Thank you once again for hearing our prayer. As we are dismissed, we ask all these things in the precious name of Jesus. Amen.